Hey, I'm out here in the shed with the van again, and today I'm gonna crawl up under there and see if I can get the oil pan off without having to jack up the motor or anything. Looks like it might be possible. I've never tried it before. I've never had the pan off of this motor before. It's been in there for ever, since '87. So uh, I did go under there and break a couple of the bolts loose, and there's no problem there. So if it'll clear, it'll come off. That's a big so I'm gonna crawl under there and see what happens. All right, so good news. The oil pan does come off with the engine still in the van, so I actually dropped right out of there once I got the bolts off it, which wasn't too bad. So there's the old oil pickup, and the oil pump is here. That's getting replaced today. I'm just cleaning up the oil pan a little bit. I mean, obviously it's pretty good on the inside, but outside it's been hanging underneath this van since 1987, so it's got some muck on it. It's mostly just, sort of dried on grease and crud and stuff, and I'm not trying to restore it. All I really want to do is clean all this gook off, just because, it's a good practice that you're going to take something off the car that you don't plan on having off again anytime soon. At least clean it up if you're not going to paint it. But so to get this crap off the side of the oil pan, sometimes I find just hosing it down with WD-40 will loosen that grease up enough that you just wipe it down with a rag. It's kind of like if you ever worked at a Burger King when you were a kid cleaning the grill, you don't really need anything. You just have to wipe that grease around. All right, pretty clean. Now I did use my thumbnail to scrape a lot of the scalier stuff off the side here, so I guess I'll have to give myself a WD-40 manicure later. All right, so I have the old oil pump out of the van, and you can see right away what the problem was. The steel sleeve split came off of the oil pump drive, so this thing is really doesn't sound too good. It's really gummed up and hard to turn. So I'm sure the pump failed, snapped this thing as a result. Because, yeah, well, here I can show you what the little shaft thing here is supposed to look like. So you're supposed to have, for this application, it comes with a little sleeve on it, and that is what keeps it locked onto the actual oil pump drive. That's what the bottom of the distributor is going to connect to right there, okay? And yeah, without that little collar to hold it on there, there's really nothing to keep it coupled to the oil pump, so you have no oil pump effectively, so no oil pressure. So that's what happened here, and yeah, this thing's definitely shot, so it's good thing we have a new one sitting here. All right, so I have my old oil pump and pickup and my new oil pump and pickup next to each other here. I matched the depth of the pickup on this one from the old one, because this is the original one out of the van. It's what it came with originally from the factory, so I know this is going to be fine. And to do that, what I did was I just took a straight edge. I used the flat side of this little speed square here, and I measured off of this flat surface down to the edge of that pickup. It's about 5 1/8. And so I just moved this one around until I came up with the same measurement, 5 1/8 on this one. And you can eyeball it pretty close too. So basically now what I need to do is I'm gonna just put a little tack weld on there, which most people say is a great idea. Factory, they just press them on. I've done them before where I put Loctite on them when I knocked them on. I'm not sure that helps at all, but I'm gonna gonna do the tack weld, but I do question. I mean, it's a piece of tubing and a piece of like cast iron, so I don't know how good of a weld it's gonna be, but I guess it's better than nothing. Okay, so I managed to get a bead on there that looked like it's gonna stick. I'm definitely not an expert welder, but this should work. And I'm gonna put the new oil pump drive on top of this guy. And it just kind of sits on there like that. I will clean up this bolt, pop it in with the new little copper gasket thing I have here. And there you go. Start her up. All right, well, I got the oil pan all bolted down and the van basically put back together. Getting a little battery charger hooked onto it right now. Try to start it up and see if we got some oil pressure. See what happens.